Hello. Today we have from RP and on the stream.
Well, test. Is it better? Looks like both our runners are good, and the race now begins.
Yeah.
Featuring Francois RP from France and Andrews Dear One. And the first free item is a piece of hurt. No item in the Smith's house, unfortunately.
Bad. Let's see what they get in the Skyforge house thing. Money.
Oh, and Andrews chooses to skip a chest. Interesting gamble. And
Good
he's right, it was only a rupee. So Andrews has a slight advantage.
Shop has nothing interesting.
Yeah, let's see where in the first sphere is the first item. Should be in the trees.
Tom seems to be pretty empty
Yeah,
today.
yeah. Once again, we may be last locationing our first item.
Yeah, seeing how we have
Yeah.
Tom with that form of money.
And here is the first item, the Rockscape in the trees. The Rockscape is actually a good first item.
And good item to get early.
It opens a lot of checks in logic, and it allows you to skip a lot of dungeon spot, allowing a faster routing. It's a really good first item. So Harpy should find his cape 2 in the last of the 4 chests, while Andrews is already checking the castle dojo. Andrews has a slight advantage because he skipped some chests early, like he did only the free lady in the town. He skipped one chest in the wind tower. You could say
he might go back to
routing.
town later. Like he's probably going to go to town right now just to get just the rest of the checks he's got access to.
Yeah, but he's going to do the whole town with
cape,
cape
which
already,
gives
so
him access to a couple more checks.
So it's kind of an advantage early on. And the bell doesn't have anything. Well, while Happy chooses not to return to the town, doing some other checks, and he gets his first golden kinstone. And we couldn't see Which one? So apparently, according to myth, it's cloud top. Because yeah, it might be going too fast on the screen.
Have a star. And T100 is going to start on doing Minish check.
Yeah, and even if they are both checking the town, they're not doing the same checks at the same time.
Karlov having nothing.
Yeah, and I think Andrews forgot to push the wardrobe or
Yeah,
yeah, sometimes I forget it too, like to push the
I always forget.
wardrobe or forget to extinguish the fire in the chimney.
Yeah, it's always.
Otherwise, he's right. It's already in logic. Even
Tom
Myth
being
forgot
pretty
it.
dry.
Wow.
Tom for now seems pretty dry. Which we should get something soon because we can't really go that far with a cave. I think. Yeah, no, shouldn't.
And Hendrus actually collect the green rupee. He might need rupee. I mean, he has max rupees, but he might need more.
Yeah. Let's see where interest is going to go.
So Andrew's going to push the
Good
bookshelf.
memory for the bookshelf.
While Francois RP is going to do the Kuko's checks. The best check in the game.
At this point, seeing how Town has won, chicken game might actually have something, which would be surprising for once.
And the white Kuko seems to not be cooperating that much.
Ken just deciding to do the same.
So one Kuko, and the boss doing the Kuko so early. Normally the Kukos are something you don't want to do early because it's a long check, it takes time. Yeah, since you only have the cape at this point, it's a good idea to check
at this point, for them, I'd rather do the game because of the fact that it's just so early and that there isn't that many checks available yet. So at this point, it's more so going to probably provide something useful.
Yeah, true. And Harpy, which is forced to do it in 2 tries because the first one failed, timed up. It's really unfortunate when this happens. It's already a long check, and doing it a second try all takes up a lot of time.
Gas jar actually is a really good item to have early.
Yeah, capes and jar are really good items to have early.
None of them check the dungeons, so for now we know. No,
and
like
the Kukos are down. Unfortunately, they don't have anything. Oh yeah, actually they had the jar, which we were talking about.
Did not go to the top part of the shop, which is surprising.
Well, now we will see some.
Remember that.
Oh, excuse me.
Right, yeah. The bookshelf wasn't pushed on. Yeah.
Well, we're going to see some differences in routing, because I think with those items you might be tempted to do some dungeons early. Like, as soon as you get access to Deepwood with either the Pounds or the Jabberknot, you're going to do Deepwood Shrine first.
The moment you get a sword, Jabberknot and Flipper or Flippers is instantly going. It's instant Deepwood.
Oh, that's right. You say Flippers. Like,
Yeah, you
I
can
say
get.
palms.
Ah,
That's absolutely not the same translation at all.
oh yeah, I don't know.
And a bomb bag too for Andrews.
That's really
And
good.
RP is
That
going to
opens
find
up a
it
lot.
too.
That opens up a
Almost
lot.
synchronized bomb bag. Oh yeah, that's right. The bombs are also good items to start if you don't have a sword early, because it's one of the only ways to deal damage.
Allows them to open up this right side and actually access forest by the actually faster route.
Exactly. Like it unlocks access to forest, one check in London Ranch, and a few other overworld chests, like the Beanstalk, for instance.
Makes them able to actually do this whole section in one go.
And the spin attack for Harvey.
And that's really good.
The first scroll is the right one, and Rock Smasher too.
Personally, having bombs here, what I would have done for routing, I would have started by going and exploding the wall down there, getting the quick warp in the forest, and then do the checks by starting by the cave, then going up the beanstalk and being able to just quick warp out to make to save just a little bit of time.
Yeah, that's quite smart actually. Yeah, I haven't seen many quick warp strats like that, and well, it might be extremely useful in race to just gain a few seconds ahead of your opponent by using quicker quick warps.
I think that was quick spin. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think I saw the same.
Yeah, quicker spin.
And the first bottle too, given
That's
by Bellary. Oh, it was dash attack?
oh dash. Well, it's still pretty good the moment they get the bombs.
Oh.
Mm.
I think a problem occurred with Francois' stream.
Emulator.
I think the emulator
Stream,
crashed. No, well, not crashed, but there was
tapped
some.
out, maybe.
He may have pressed a wrong keyboard shortcut. I mean, it already happened once because he had a shortcut on his controller because Bizoku loves that, and he accidentally reset the console. Like it already happened once, and that's why he disabled the console shortcuts on his controller. But yeah, if it happens in a race, it's quite unfortunate.
It happened to me in one of the asyncs for this month. I needed to forfeit because my for some reason my one of my shortcuts decided to just create a save state and send me back to that save state that placed me 10 minutes into my run when I was already like an hour in. So I just needed to DNF because I just knew all the locations if I started over.
Or maybe it's his controller. Like he received a new part for his controller because the R button was broken, and he could change it lately
Maybe
this week.
he changed it himself and just
while Andrews finds a new golden kinstone and the Lowland Ranch key,
Actually useful at this point, so
which
that it
might be
doesn't
required.
diminish. It's always a useful item to get if you haven't actually, if you don't have an access to a lake.
So each time the sound cuts is because Harpy changes something in the emulator setting. So it might be because of his controller, it might be because of the emulator resolution. But yeah, there might be a slight problem. And he misses the first cycle with the lily pad.
Of Hendrix that's going to check the Gorons.
The Goran's chest. I swear there's always something good in the Goran's chest each time I check it.
It's always something good to check because it's just two checks that aren't too long to get, and that just you can quick warp
To the ranch.
easily out.
And it's fast split.
This one it was
fast gauge.
It was split, yeah, split gauge.
But yeah, the ranch key was actually not that useful because we already had the cape, and well, you can actually do a lot of ranch checks with the cape. You can already access the other side.
Still saves time to not need to go Minish to get the one check inside of it.
Yeah, it does save time. You can just enter as an adult.
And just go through to Lake and Ranch instantly.
Yes. So Harpy is going to find the other Kinstone. Or no, he skipped it? Or, well, at least he skipped the ranch key. I think.
I think he skipped a lot of checks,
Yeah.
actually.
So Harpy will actually have to do the ranch the hard way. He got the key. Oh. Oh, I forgot. This tracker only displays the graveyard key. Okay.
Oh,
It's my bad.
okay.
So he got the key. But he still does it in Minish. We don't have that many items though. I mean, we found the cape and the jar in the town. Come back near that, but we didn't see a lot of progression items.
They got really useful items early on, but it's quite a slow start because they don't really have access to that much.
And Hendrix finds the boomerang in the Minish hole in the ranch. Boomerang is a good item, in my opinion, but it doesn't unlock anything in logic. It's a good item to have if you don't have a sword. Well,
it's just convenience.
Yeah, it's not a progression item.
Let's see what Hendrix is going to decide to do.
I mean, the routing is slightly different, but they end up checking the same locations in the end.
I'm trying to think of, oh, our basement, true.
So yeah, the first town basement chest. No, it's the second one actually, since Francois already did the mayor basement.
None of them checked the well.
Yeah, the well
and
is...
that might actually have something.
Yeah, but you can only check the well. Oh no, you have the cape.
They've
you can
got,
actually
yeah,
grab the item.
they've got cape. That's
it's
why it surprises me. Usually I just do everything I can in time before usually advancing.
That's true. And we find our first book.
Look,
Book in the basement.
Dax is happy.
Oh, it can matter in logic in one situation. I'm interested. I imagine it can be a good replacement if you don't have the bow.
Hendris is going to get something useful, I guess, here. Because I don't... Oh, well, no.
No,
I'm trying to
it's
think
not.
what checks they've got left. It can dip droplets, which would just give them one check, which would not.
Yeah, droplets is not,
They've got
not really a
bottle,
good call.
so
I mean,
oh, they can do
and
fountain.
even if you gamble droplets, you would be forced to do it vanilla without the lantern, and it's really slow.
I'd do fountain maybe right now just to get it done.
So instead of droplets, Andros prefers to go and check Mount Crenel.
Not a bad idea.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea. You have access to a lot of checks with the bomb bag, and the cape also helps spinning it up. You just don't have the grip ring, unfortunately.
Yeah, but the bottle still gives them access to most checks in the whole mountain area.
And both runners are checking Montcren right now. Francois Happy being a little slightly behind. But they will end up going the same route. And yeah, as you can see, getting the cape early is useful to gain time in like almost every location in the game. You can cheese dungeons, areas, like it really speeds everything up. Even this check in Hendra's screen, like instead of bombing the rocks, you could use the cape to access the chest more easily.
That's really good.
And getting the mold mates is actually good. Since I mean, it could be useful if it also gets the grip ring.
I mean, it opens Hype Cave, so at this point, just go there and get. I don't know how many. I think 7 or 8 checks.
Yeah. Since we already have access to the lake, getting the mold mates means Hype Cave. So it's like 7 chests plus 2 chests and the freestanding piece of hurt in the beanstalk.
From the beanstalk, yeah.
Like 10 checks at once. It's really a good item. And Francois also getting his mold mates slightly behind Andros. They're following the same route, so it should stay the same for quite some time since the city looks quite closed.
Yeah.
Second bottle for Andros. Even if I don't think bottles will be having more bottles will be useful. And RP prefers to use bombs instead of the jar to unlock this Minish spot. I mean, isn't it faster to use the jar?
Probably. I think Francois is forgetting a lot of things earlier. He forgot that he had key.
I mean, I actually never saw Francois doing it with the jar. I always saw him do it with the bombs.
I usually always do jar because I do bombs because I always forget, even if I have jar earlier.
Yeah, but this kind of thing can actually be decisive in a race. Because if you gain like 5 seconds of this check, 5 more seconds in another check, 5 more seconds with a quicker quick wap, like it stacks up and Andrews can build quite some patterns.
Yeah.
And the dog food. Dog
Yay,
food.
fetch quest.
But we still don't have the grip ring to check more in Mount Crenel. We still don't have any sword. And this is actually the biggest problem. Like, we don't have sword. We can't attack normally.
I just don't have that much.
I mean, we already have 2 quivers, but no sword and no bow.
I'm getting close to being able to check Greyblade.
Yeah, we already have quite a lot of hurts. And we find a flame lantern.
Yay.
So
Droplets.
yeah, droplets might actually be a good idea right now. I mean, I
It's
still would
fast
prefer to do it with
but
sword. I still would
I
prefer.
do Fountain right now. Honestly, just 2 checks in town, even if it's a bit slow, I think might deliver at this point because they don't have that much, I think, available right now apart from like the caves.
This city is terrible. I love it. While
Not
viewers
that
always
terrible.
prefer table seeds.
The,
It's
the,
always
the
more
more
entertaining to
convenient
watch.
the convenient routing items are there. It's just that you need still need 5 swords, a cane, boots maybe,
That makes
flippers.
me that makes me think. The runners haven't checked the map yet, right?
Yeah.
So they haven't checked which dungeons are
So at this
required.
point, we don't even know what items they need right now.
I mean, well, some items are required for Batty, but yeah, true. We don't know if some additional items are required. Like, we already have the jar, the cape, and the lantern, so it calls for droplets quite early. But we don't even know if droplets is required. It might be a non-elemental droplets required. Oh,
This seed at this point, it's surprising that we're close to half an hour in and no map check
yeah, we're almost half an hour and no sword.
as well.
I mean, first sword in 1 hour, and then 4
I
sword in
mean,
20 minutes later.
knowing the seeds Nesmond rolls, we're probably at a 1 hour sword.
Yeah, and then get all the swords, like in a short span of time. It's
Yeah.
already happened. But speaking of table seats, may I remind you that last week on the Speed Gaming Weekly, the last required item was in non-elemental Palace of Winds. It was the Graveyard Key.
Fun.
Yeah, terrible seeds are entertaining.
It's so entertaining. It's better than any seed. Then now they can check Grey Blades, so I think Lake would be a really good idea. A really healthy seed for the 27 in and we already have Hendrix on 10 hearts. Hendrix thinking of what he can do. Go to Hyper Cave.
Yeah, I think that's what
Too
he
late.
is going to do.
I think we might actually see a Hyper Cave that actually has delivery.
I think they're both going for the Hype Cave.
Yeah.
No? Oh, Happy changed his mind apparently.
Remembering something.
And of
Oh,
course,
food as well.
the lake means we can check the dog food. And
Yeah,
nope, it was only a hurt.
more health because that's good.
Well, Wave Blade is what? 13 hertz?
It's 10
10
for
hertz?
the check. Yeah.
We can actually already check him.
This is the only randomizer that requires a health check. All the other randomizers, if I recall correctly, do not you do not need health.
Um, well, looks like the first part of the hype cave didn't have anything.
Let's see for the bottom part.
Yeah, the one that has the must chests.
Surely there's something.
The hype cave almost always has something.
Or just health, which in this case is not needed.
Yeah, it's not needed if you already have 10 hertz. And the first sword in the hype cave, finally!
Well, it's nothing close to an hour sword, but 30-minute sword is still annoying.
So yeah, the hype cave actually had something. It had the first sword at half an hour.
No, Huntress, there's nothing there.
So this might actually speed things up. It opens more checks, and now you can actually think about doing some dungeons. Because now you can attack, you can do the bosses if you have the items.
The moment they get access, I think they'll head straight to Deepwood.
They have access to Deepwood?
No, the moment they
Yeah,
get
not yet.
access, they'll probably head straight there for
Yeah,
more checks.
I think so. Or maybe could try to go to droplets. And
Two swords.
what? Is that a second sword in the same hype cave? Really? Really, game? And now we have the first map check.
Ah,
So
funny.
now we have the dungeons. We know which dungeon is required. So iBot posted it earlier, but only we knew the locations. Like the runners themselves didn't. So now they see Deepwood is required, while droplets is required too. Well, both Deepwood and droplets are required. And we already have the items required for it.
What?
Like, well, I mean, we like the flippers for droplets, but we can mainly clear it.
Droplets can be full cleared without flippers. You can full clear this game depending on what dungeons and stuff you have without flippers.
Well, the underwater check requires the flippers.
Yeah,
so
but if
you can't
do
clear
not...
it. Like, if you don't have the flippers, you can't 100% clear droplets.
Yeah, but you can determine if the pot is needed or not because of the item count and the small key count.
Yeah, the keys.
And since you can skip keys in droplets, you can actually get everything in droplets without actually needing flippers.
Yes, that's true. And more importantly, even if you don't have flippers, you can still do the boss. And if it's actually your last dungeon, if you're actually in go mode, you can just head straight to the boss. That's also an option.
Nothing here.
And
Droplets might actually be a good option right now, just to get one check, but still.
And Waveblade didn't have anything. What were all those hurts required for? All this love was useless.
I would personally go to droplets right now. I think that would be the best option.
That would be a good gamble.
Hendrix checking the Minish caves. Minish
Yeah,
what
the
caves?
Minish Cave is a good choice because you're near it, and it has a
And a bow.
bow, synced bow for both runners.
Useful to get at this point. Doesn't open anything, it's still a really good item.
So you actually you only need the third sword to get access to Caster Wilds, right?
Yeah.
And since you already have the bow, you can actually check a lot. You can check a lot in Caster Wilds.
Seeing
So
at the point they are, I think that if they get a third sword right now, they'd go droplets first, since it's a required dungeon and they can complete it.
true. That's true. I mean, it's a required dungeon, so you're going to do it anyway. But you could
Talking about
also gamble
droplets,
Caster Wild.
Francois is going to droplets.
And Hendrix
Wow.
remembers he skipped a chest in the Wind Tower.
He's going to save Gregor at the same time.
Yeah, true. That's actually a good plan. That means he actually saved time compared to Francois, who has to do another trip
Wrong
anyway,
person.
and well,
Oh, and he did not save time here because of the fact that the check was useless and that it's really likely that there's going to be another sword. I want to say another sword so that they'd be able to complete droplets and actually go to caster afterwards.
yeah. So apparently, Francois follows your reasoning. He's already dipping droplets, while Hendrix tries to find other items first. I think he's expecting to find the third sword before going
Yeah.
there.
I think he's trying to get another sword before just going into droplets with only 2.
Yeah, either the sword or the flippers.
I understand Hendrix's reasoning here because usually going to a dungeon without being able to just complete it is still something for me. I don't like doing it, even if there's nothing to lose, honestly, by going early into a dungeon because it's just more checks.
Yeah. And also, if he finds the nut, the flippers, or the sword, he's going to have a faster droplets and access to Deepwood, which are
Right
both.
now, I think if he does find nut or flippers, he'll instantly go droplets. Deepwood, since Deepwood is, I want to say, the easier dungeon out of the 2 that they have access to right now.
There's
have
always a
access to.
sword in droplets. The
Always.
worst is that it's actually true so far for
Split
me.
gauge.
I once had 2 swords in droplets too.
There's always a sword. It's seems like just something that always happens.
It's on blue too, you think? Well, I think we're going to see that shortly.
At this
How-
point, honestly, it wouldn't surprise me that Blue Chew has something.
So this is actually our first boss or mid-boss in the seed.
I want to say either Blue Chew has something or the map.
So here we have an interesting difference in routes, where Happy is gambling droplets early, while Andrews prefers to find other items first. This might be decisive, because if droplets has the progression items, Happy will have the lead.
but Hendrus isn't that far behind because at this point there isn't that many overall checks left.
Exactly.
So after this, he'll probably go to droplets. But if this actually gives something good, that might give Hendrus the edge if there's nothing in droplets. And no. I think at this point it just makes droplets instantly have progression.
So here we see the simulation doesn't have any item. And we're going to see more of the dojos. I mean, the town dojos actually have a lot of checks because we have cape, we
Yeah,
have the
there's
normal check with spin attack,
3 checks.
we have
3
the
checks.
bombs, so you also have rock smasher.
Yeah. Rock Breaker is actually the check for that is unlocked by having green sword.
Oh yeah, the green sword.
Firefly. I did not catch which one it was, but it's still useful to have one.
I mean, it will really be useful to have the mitts right now because it would speed up some checks, and it would speed up the Fortress of Wind if it's required to go inside.
Yeah, true.
Because well, we know it's the Fortress of Go mode.
The best possible Firefly to get is definitely the Butterfly.
And the flippers inside droplets. Oh my god. So now,
And if they
so now
don't,
Happy. Oh yeah, sorry.
it's
Go
okay.
ahead.
If Harpy doesn't get a sword in here, Deepwood Shrine is the next thing to go, the next check to do.
Exactly. I mean, he can do more checks in droplets. He'll have
Yeah,
easier
and that's good access
movements
to the pop,
and
which is
access
good.
to Deepwood. I mean, access to Deepwood is mainly the real advantage here because Deepwood is required, and the other way, besides the flippers, is the Jabberknot. So gambling droplets here was actually a good call for Happy. And if the Jabberknot is also in droplets, you are required to do droplets first.
Yeah.
And that would actually be amazing.
I mean, depending on where Jabberknot is as well in the world, it might just be like where you have it as you need to do droplets first anyway.
Yeah, if it's behind flippers, it's true. So now Hendrus is also leading to droplets. He is behind Harpy, so he's going to find the same items since he didn't find any item in the other world beside the butterfly. So he's going to be late for now. Harpy has a slight advantage. Even though it's kind of scary to be in critical HP during this fight, you can always get kind of trolled by the Burmanski source. Well, now, as long as he opened the warp, it's okay. And we see that they even have different routing in the palace, in the dungeon. So Harpy is already going for the far left check first. I think it's because when you go into the
Come
screen
back.
position, the pillars will disappear right away. So it's faster to do it in this order, I believe.
We also know that pot check, the underwater pot, has a item since Francois has already, I think, got all 3 keys, if I'm not mistaken.
And the
And
Pegasus boots inside
Which-
droplets.
Which are actually required, so this is really good, because they are required for Royal Crypt.
Yes, they are. Since you need the Pegasus boots to retrieve the Graveyard Key from the Crow. And it's a nice thing to have to speed overworld checks.
Yeah.
I mean, until you
This is
have
going to be
the
interesting.
Ocarina, it's the best trouble you have.
Let's see Ice Matter Pillar on half a heart.
So already 2 required items in droplets. Feel like it's going to be a super late Ocarina Seed. Well, maybe. I think it was last week's on Speed Gaming, or maybe the one the week before. The Ocarina was extremely late too. And welcome to the people from Speed Gaming 5. You're here on Speed Gaming 6 for the Minish Cap Randomizer Weekly. Welcome to you all.
And Deepwood is going to have even more progression.
Yes. So gambling droplets early was actually a good call, and he can now clear Deepwood.
Deepwood, so Francois is definitely heading. Well, I hope is going to head instantly to Deepwood.
So yes, not only he can clear Deepwood, but he can also go to Deepwood quite fast because he has the cape, the flippers, the boots. He has everything to speed up his travel.
Yeah.
Or maybe he's trying to route some checks on the way because I see him hesitating a lot.
Confused.
Oh yeah, he tried to avoid getting in the forest through the other side, or else he would have to go through the Minish village, which is slower. So yeah, he entered from the north entrance. So this is how you get to Deepwood Shrine with the flippers. The Jabbernet is not required if you have the flippers. Oh, and the lantern is also going to speed some things up. Like one of the side of the barrel, it's way faster to use the lantern rather than using the pillar to press the switch.
At least we have the dungeon isn't boss locked, so it makes it a more linear Deepwood Shrine.
I mean, boss locked is actually fun if you think about it. Like,
It
you
is
need
fun.
to do the boss anyway. You need to do the boss anyway. There are other instances where it's good. Like, if you're in go mode,
Yeah,
you know
if you're in go
the dungeon
mode,
won't have anything. So if it's
a
boss
boss locked
locked,
is
you're
good.
forced to do the boss first, and well, you do the boss and
Leave.
just leave.
Leave.
So Andrews, Andrews is now not taking the right path because for this path in droplets, you need the second white sword to be able to clone yourself. So you can only do this side and activate the blue warp. But he's going to find his Pegasus boost soon and he's going to leave. And here you can see why I really like the boomerang. You can stun enemies that are annoying. It's a really good item in my opinion. Not really required in logic, except in some rare case, but really. And Hendrus even skipped the lever. Well, he had to skip the lever because he can't clone himself.
Hendrix is taking the slower route to take care of this next part.
Maybe he's fearing being locked in logic because of the keys.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's simply because he forgot to go to this area before returning to the main hall, and he then just forgot. I mean, he could have taken the blue warp actually. But yeah, in this case, it's faster to go through the other side. Oh, it might be because of Rupee Mania, you're right.
Maybe.
He forgot weeklies are not in Rupee Mania. And Happy now has access to the boss of Deepwood Shrine, the green 2. But since he has a few more checks, he'll just clear Deepwood Shrine.
Do you also know that basement has an item because of the fact that the compass and map were found?
So yeah, in this instance, if you calculate the number of items remaining, you would not clear. You will clear Deepwood. You won't go to the boss already.
Yeah, you'd go through to basement first, which is what Francois is doing.
Andrew's not having much luck with the Mother Pillar, fortunately. So he has to 3-cycle the Mother Pillar. And it was the last item, I think, in Deepwood Shrine.
Yeah.
So Deepwood didn't have any item. Maybe the
Oh
Green
no,
Shoe
there's
has.
still another one. There's an item on Green Shoe because the blue warp had a small key.
Yeah, the check on the piece of hurt. And you can see you can see how slower this route is for Andrews because he has to activate the switches with the lily pad. Or well, actually can do that too, the screen transition. And he finds his Pegasus boots. So I think he's going to leave now.
What is he? Did he? Yeah. Oh,
I
he's
think
going
he
to
did. Yeah,
get
he
the
didn't
ice
check the
chest.
left chest. While Harpy clears his first dungeon.
Let's see what Green Shoe has. Nothing.
And no. So Deepwood was barren.
I'm trying to think what they have access to right now.
They have
Not that much. That's the thing.
I mean, they lack the third sword. The third sword would unlock so much. Like, it would unlock Caster Wilds,
At
which
this
they would
point,
be
I
able
think-
to clear, actually.
At this point, we can either find anything that's going to lead to the third sword, or we're going to find the third sword instantly, because I cannot see any other item. Oh, Flippers actually gives them access to 3 caves over here.
Yeah, Flippers unlocked some things.
Surely this has something.
Oh, yeah, the boots and Flippers unlocked some Minish hold checks.
Oh, yeah.
In Forest and the lake, and the
Third
third sword is here.
Yeah, the red sword. This actually allows Francois to just go back to Temple of Droplets and finish it.
Exactly. Yeah, but will he return to Droplets right now, or will he go to Caster Wilds first?
I just finish Droplets first because it just makes one less dungeon to do in the end when you're in go mode.
That's true, but since you already dipped Droplets, there aren't many checks left.
Oh no, there isn't any chase. It's mainly just finishing off the dungeon so that you don't need to go back there later on.
I mean, normally, if you have some checks remaining, it would be a good idea, because there might be an item on it. But if you don't have any item, if you know the progression is not there, you can just leave the dungeon for later, especially if you get the Ocarina later, it will be faster to get there. So if you know the progression is not there, it's better to not finish it right away.
Francois is probably going back to finish it off. Actually, I think it's at this point just such a quick finish to that dungeon, since routing wise you can finish it really quickly. So I think it's not actually that bad of a choice to just go and get done with it.
Yeah, that's both point of views are
There's 2 point of views that are valid, both of them, honestly.
personally, if I'm 100% sure there are no other checks than the boss, I would save it for later and hope I get the Ocarina so I can travel faster. If there is another check remaining, I would finish Droplets right now, because it's required.
I do it now because for all we know, this has progression.
Yeah, Droplets had 2 items. And the sword required to finish Droplets was behind those items.
Yeah, so at this point, I think Droplets still stays. Just finishing a dungeon is always the good option, because you don't need to come back actually later, midway through checking the overworld.
That's true.
Because
Anyway,
it
was required to double trip.
Yeah, it was 100% a dip dungeon.
Good logic.
Oh yeah, like iBot said, you can route it in with the Minish checks in Lake, since you've got boots, you can actually turn Minish and just finish Lake off. So it's not that bad of a choice right now.
That's actually true.
Just makes it more enticing to choose to go there.
What surprises me, though, is that we don't have many Kinstones yet. We only have 2 or 3 Cloud Tops. We have no Castle Wilds. We're still missing some Cloud Tops. We don't have Balefalls.
Yeah.
That's weird. Normally we should have a lot more Kinstones.
Oh, we're still only missing 2 Cloud Tops and Veil Falls, and then we're done with Kinstones. I don't think our runners right now want to see anything to do with Caster Wilds.
Fortress in no mode.
It's definitely an area that, if you can avoid it, it's just gonna make the seed way faster and just way more enjoyable. Because Caster is one of those areas that's really like mixed in just the community in general, because it's either you like the area or you just hate it.
Oh, Francois having trouble with the torches. Oh, no.
Isn't it annoying?
The torches are a torture.
In the base game when I was a kid playing this was terrible.
We all ate the ice. We all ate slippery ice.
Yeah, Nimbus, it doesn't have an element, so it's good that we don't have any Kinstones.
Well, I mean, I don't really think it's important in Minish Cap Rondo, because compared to other Zelda Rondos where you have much more dungeons, it feels like you always need to do in an unrequired dungeon anyway.
Surprisingly enough, this randomizer has quite a lot of checks. I think the race settings for this randomizer has more checks than Wind Waker.
I mean, more dungeons. I mean, because I was thinking more about. I was thinking more about Ocarina of Time, because Ocarina of Time you have 8 dungeons.
That game's massive compared to a game like
only...
Minish Cap. Yeah. We need to keep in mind that one's a console game and one's a handheld.
I think he meant
race mode.
Because if you go max settings,
max settings Wind Waker has more, because there's
how
just
can you compare?
You can't. But if you take race settings, Minish Cap has more than Wind Waker.
Yeah, because we all enjoy all sanity runs.
Yes, because why go simple when you can actually make yourself suffer?
But I actually enjoy some sanities more than tournament settings, because the logic is kind of different.
I think the only thing I'd add to race settings to make it perfect would be Rupee Mania, because it's just something that just adds just a little bit of checks, but not like a mad amount.
Personally, I would prefer Key Sanity.
That's the thing.
Because,
I think Key Sanity would make the seeds way too long for a weekly race.
I mean, what I enjoy in Sanity's runs is that you're not always adding more and more checks. You just change the whole logic. And in Key Sanity, you have to take into account you can't dip dungeons in one trip. You have to get the keys on the way, which are not in the dungeons. That's
Just
what I
makes it
like.
confusing.
While Harpy is already taking on Big Octo, the boss we all love.
Well, you say Big Octo. Octo is not big, it's Link that's small. It's actually just a normal Octo. He's just annoying because, yeah. Now, Francois is moving on to the RNG part of the fight.
Yes, with the fog.
Yeah, I think it's max of 2 fogs. But if Francois is lucky, they could get just the perfect and get 3 rocks instantly. Oh, no, apparently not. Octo does not want to.
He's going to get
1.
Oh,
yeah, 1 smoke.
Oh. Well, I shouldn't have said that. And now the worst would be him doing his charge attack instead of throwing rocks. Boss randomizer when, so we can get real big Octo.
Yeah. An Randomizer would be fun in this game. Just have golden enemies just anywhere in the world. You just get
Imagine.
into the dungeon and just have a gold enemy that are just waiting for you at the entrance.
Imagine you have a golden boss. That would actually be interesting, because if you get a golden boss, it means you can't defeat it, which means this dungeon is not required to finish. That would actually be interesting in logic. So right now, Harpy gets his second element, but we're out of checks. I mean,
What is that?
yeah, that's white.
Yeah, your wallet. Now I'd say best choice is caster, because the Western Woods has a lot of checks.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean, we
first,
can check. We can do some
finish
check
off
in the
lane.
lake and the forest.
For now, there's 2 checks. Here there are 3 checks that are available. I don't think Cabin had anything, so right now Francois can just finish this off and then leave instantly.
I mean, he
Well,
also
okay,
has
yes.
the Minish hole in the north of Minish Woods, in which you access from the lake, and the Minish hole in the northeast of the lake. Unless he already did that. And Hendrus is actually not going back to droplets, it seems.
I think he is. He's just taking an interesting route to get there. Yeah.
Oh, and he's also getting the Lone Ranch Minish Path chest. And Francois gets the bracelets.
Yay.
The poor bracelets.
More checks. Seeing that
Bracelets
Henry's
could-
got another scroll, I think they've got enough scrolls to finish off. What's his name? Caster.
And we get another golden kinstone for both of them. They're doing the same check.
What Kinstone was it? Let's...
I'm
Top.
not sure.
That was
I think-
Caltops.
Yeah, Cloud Tops.
Yeah, so that's good.
So it's like our fourth kinstone for Cloud Tops, and no
Fourth Cloud Tops.
no stone for Castle White.
Which is good.
I mean, it's good unless Fortress of Winds actually has something, because then you would be forced to look.
Let's
For the
not think
Kinstones.
Fortress has something. It's not required. Let's just hope for them that everything is not there.
The Fortress of No Mode, that's the Fortress of Go Mode. I hope there's a sword on Mazel.
Sword and Mazal. That is just evil.
Swords on Mazel and Gleerock. Oh. Oh. On the bird. Well, yeah, that's the same, I'd say. Yes, the only difference is that the two final boss checks are in two separate rooms, contrary to the other bosses. Because Mazel doesn't give an element, vanilla, so it's actually in a separate room. But yeah, I count it as both items in Mazel, normally. But yeah, you're right. Vanilla, Ocarina, and Sword on Yellery. Or it could be an old engine, Sid. Is there something beyond Mazal? And something either on Gleerock or in Mellery, it's an old engine. And we've yet to see it in the weekly.
Grip ring.
Yeah.
Wow.
So Francois found both the Power Blastlets and the Grip Ring, allowing more
Mountain.
checks overall.
Just go to mountain. That unlocks a lot there.
I mean, would it be better to go to Castle Wilds or to
Yeah.
Mount Crenel?
Castle Wild has more checks, so Castle is the better option.
I mean, Castle Wilds has more checks, but you can't go to the runes. Whereas if you go to Mount Crenel, you can clear Mount Crenel and go to Cave of Flames. Even if it's not required, overall it's more checks than Castle Wilds.
Yeah.
Nah, they can't go to Cloud Tops yet. They don't have the Baleful Skinstone.
No Veilfalls, yeah.
That means all Veilful and Cloud Top Skinstones are required, which means more probabilities that those are in non-elemental dungeons.
We're missing 2 Kinstones.
Like, just imagine having to do an old dungeon just for the Kinstones. Not even for the items, just for the Kinstones.
There's so many checks at this point that a logical old dungeon would be so hard to get that it's unlikely, but we were close to it last week.
Yeah, last week we were close because the
Most people just
the
skip.
only dungeon that was not required to finish was Palace of Wind, and it had the Graveyard Key inside, just not on the boss, but it was inside. And the Ocarina.
Hey. That's goody. Yes. That unlocks one check-in lake. Well, yeah, that only unlocks one check-in lake, but it still makes everything faster. So same here in Western Wood. The route that we see Francois do, you can set up a quick warp in Castle Wilds, so that when you've checked everything and you're on top of the beanstalk, you can just quick warp back into Swamp.
That's true. But I think Francois just doesn't really know or doesn't bother with the quick warp setups.
I feel like both of them either don't know quick warp is a thing or just don't want to use it.
But however, we can see Percy, and Ice Flip Percy always has a sword for me. But no, this
Percy
time
has
he
nothing
didn't have
usually.
anything. I mean, the red scroll was Spirit Beam, right?
Yeah, I think, yeah. The good thing here is that they have enough scrolls to be able to check Greyblade the first, which is good.
That is true.
And since they have flippers, they can actually do the whole of Swamp.
They can clear
2
the
bucks.
swamps. They can clear it.
We're 1 book away from Yelari, which is Dax's favorite checks, and one of my favorite as well.
Ah, yes. You know, once I had to do the Flipper's Cave vanilla, so going from Yellow's spot.
I did as well, but one other scene I had 4 sword on Yelari, and it was my last location, so that
Oh.
was fun.
Oh, and
Just crawl.
did Andrews miss the rock with the shield?
Yes, because the angle for Octo was so bad that the shield actually just made the rock bounce straight down.
Oh, that's unfortunate because he loses a cycle. I think.
Yeah, I think so.
And nice one cycle for François on the Dark Knight.
A really nice quick kill indeed. So right now we are missing Kane, Graveyard Key, Veil Falls and 1 Cloud Tops,
Yes.
and
yes.
the 2 swords, and then it's go mode.
Well, that's quite a lot of things.
Yeah. But for an hour 15 in, it's not the worst I've seen.
And Hendrix has quite some troubles with Big Octo.
Big Octo always being one of the most annoying bosses in the game.
Yeah, and he is
willful.
really unlucky with the fire.
It's just that having two normal, just scripted cycles and then having a full-on RNG one is a bit annoying.
No. And the magical
Magic
boomerang,
boomerang.
which is not required.
But gives more control over Boomerang, so still pretty decent.
And our Kinstone here.
I think that I think it was Castor.
Castor. I think I saw Castor too.
Yeah.
Imagine the 3 Castor Wild Skinstones are in Castor Wilds.
That would be a really, really stupid French villain.
That would be really amazing.
Well, right now that was vanilla, like Nesmond said, which is not appreciated.
That would be epic. Because then you would have to gamble. Does the Seed give me the Castle Wilds vanilla so I could go to Fortress of Winds? Or is it just a big bait?
For all we know, this is the last Castor Kinstone we're gonna find for the whole seed. Let's see what we eat. There's not that many checks left. Yeah.
It might be in the grotto that Hendrix is checking.
No, that was the power bases, but that does give.
Already check that. Yeah, I just.
That does
My
give
memory is
access
short.
to-
I have short memory.
That gives access to a couple of things. They have a couple of things they can do in town now. That they have the power bracelets.
And basically, getting back to town would be. It might be the logical progression.
One of our trackers apparently changed Francois Kinstone count to 3 cloud tops and 2 caster.
According to and we might actually be wrong about the Kinstones because if I remember correctly, he has an
hell
auto
no.
tracker.
That was. I hope that was cloud tops, please. Don't make that caster. Please don't make that Kinstone they just got caster.
I mean, if I remember correctly, Francois uses an auto tracker, so we can believe in
Oh my
for
god,
the
it was a
Kinstones.
it was a third caster. Oh my god, no.
No, the 3 caster wilds Kinstone with
That's
2
bad.
caster wilds in caster wilds. Guys,
That's
if this is not
bad.
epic, if this is not a call to go to Fortress of Winds, then what is it?
Why does everything need to be French vanilla? And why did we just get
Why?
cloud tops?
Why?
Why is
3
this base full of
Kinstones? 3
Kinstones?
Kinstones in Castle Wilds.
Was
Really?
that cloud tops or Veil Falls? Veil Falls.
It's very false, it seems.
What
So
is this seed?
Castle Wilds had all the
Why
progression
you
and...
Oh my god, light arrows as well. That's pretty good. Oh
And
no,
no,
it's a trap.
it's a trap. I was going to say it's a fool, but no, a fool on ice trap is only on OT.
No, no, Francois, you've got 3 Kinstones. Yeah. Oh, okay. Sure.
It's faster to use the Ocarina
is
to get to their side of the
fast,
swamp.
yeah.
Oh.
Well,
What? He
I'm trying
actually...
to. What? Oh,
maybe
okay.
his tracker was wrong and he actually doesn't have, or
I
maybe
don't think
he
so.
did a mistake on the tracker.
I think since Francois has access over there, but still has like a lot of checks in town. At this point, it's
Maybe.
probably going to be just Francois is going to finish town and then go to
Because otherwise, again,
go
Yeah.
to the ruins
it's possible. Because
because
in that situation, it's really a hard gamble. Because
Nimbus is right.
Fortress of Winds is not required to finish. So,
And hello to the 177 raiders from Speed Gaming.
well, hello people from Speed Gaming. Welcome
We are
to
getting attacked.
Speed Game 6. Welcome to the Minish Cap Randomizer weekly race.
iBot does have a point because if Cloud Tops has vanilla Kinstones, that instantly makes Cloud Tops into logic the moment they get a blue sword. Palace, sorry. And if Palace is accessible, honestly, why wouldn't you go there?
Yes, exactly. But on the other hand, the progression might be in Fortress of Wind, which is not required. That's a hard gamble, because if you skip Fortress of Wind because it's not required, you might miss an important item. But if you go there and there is no item, you lost a lot of time.
I am feeling nice, and I think that it's going to be in Palace. That there's going to be 2 Kinstones in Cloud Tops, and then Palace is going to have the rest. We have Hendris checking Fountain. Nothing.
And Harpy doing the Simon's simulation, which we know doesn't have anything.
Fallen has nothing, which is disappointing. I quite like it when Fallen has something because it's such an annoying check.
Yeah, a Veilful might be a good call because, I mean, you are required to go there anyway, so you might as well go to Veilful, since we have the Kingstone, then set up the Ocarina Warp. So even if we don't find anything, we can just warp later.
Bottle. Trap. Useless, but...
No, Francois didn't do the simulation. Oh, you meant Karlov? Yeah, if you already checked Karlov, the randomizer will prevent you from talking to him again and display a message that RNG manip is illegal because Karlov has a way to manip RNG, which we disable in the randomizer.
Francois going to check cloud tops.
So yeah, we have 3 Kingstones for each. So
I
we're
think
missing...
this is a good play because it has a lot of checks and it's definitely faster than ruins.
Yes, and you don't lose time anyway because there's an Ocarina Warp at the top of
Yeah.
Eightfold. So anyway, you're not losing time until you reach the warp point.
Mirror
And the
shield.
mirror shield. I mean, it's not required. Okay.
Yay, 2.5 hearts, a golden tactite which deserves to just be deleted. Everything looking for Francois.
Ouch! 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 Francis, please don't die here.
Struggling to enter, and no. Upper Veil Falls being absolutely useless. For now. There's still 2 checks.
Yes, because another check is locked behind 3 sword.
Yes,
Yeah.
there is 1 check that's locked behind the blue sword.
I mean, yeah, it's the 4th sword which enables to
It's stupid.
to
Because
duplicate you to be 3.
at this point, it's colors is easier to follow the sword since there's 5.
And we get the Tingle's medal too.
Nesman's
Tingle have
favorite
something?
check. Nesman is happy about that.
Yeah, he loves Tingle.
No, Cloud Tops. Let's see how this goes. No, Francois, you can skip this.
No cane though. Well, the cane is required. I mean, the cane is required for Vati anyway, so
It's required
we
for
will have it
for
by
Valley,
the
yeah.
Brooks and
annoying.
Clearrock and Mazal and Kane on Yellary. Sword and Tingle. Nimbus, please! Even I don't make that kind of troll calls. Even I don't.
Can Francois please use Cape a bit more on Cloud Tops to make him faster? We're having a textbook Capeless Cloud Tops right now.
You need the cane for Clearrock, but Clearrock is not required.
Gleerock is required. Mazal and... Oh yeah, no, Gleerock isn't.
Yeah, Cave of Flames is not
yeah,
elemental.
I'm confusing names. Gleerock is way too similar to Gjork.
Oh, yeah, you were replaying to Nimbus. Okay.
Graveyard. Please have 2 Kinstones like right now and maybe a couple of swords. Just make Cloud Tops going mode.
Actually, I would prefer to get the sword instead of another Kingstone, because
Right
if you get
now
the
they
sword,
need a sword.
if you get
They
the
can do
sword
great
with the
there.
graveyard key, you can just clear Royal Crypt.
Yeah, and that
Instantly.
actually would be good. The sword would be pretty great right now.
And now Francois is going to do the fusion for the 3 last Kingstones, so that way, if he has to go back again, which he will have to, he just do the first fusions and gain time.
Use Cape. No! Oh yeah, there's this.
I mean, no, if he wants to do the fusion, he's right to go there. Excuse me, I'm slightly hungry.
Mushroom.
And a mushroom.
More fetch quests.
Yay!
Rem is
More
going to have a
checks in the
sword.
city. More backtracking into the city. The town.
Rem's sword confirmed, boys. Let's hope for that. I just love any type of like important item on the fetch quest. It's just mean, but so good to watch. Oh god. Oh well, okay.
It was a cloud tap. I mean, we're only
Yay.
missing cloud taps, so...
Yeah. And now we're only missing one. We're missing a Cloud Tops, Cane, and 2 swords.
Exactly. But once Andrews finds all the Castle-wide Kinstone, do you think he's going to do the same as Francois? Going
No.
to Red Balls and
I-
Cloud Tops? Or do you think he's actually going to gamble for this win?
I think he's gonna gamble Fortress. It's not exactly bad, except if Mushroom does have a sword, where that would be a bit annoying. Four balls. Convenience at its finest. Not going for... Oh, okay. Francois, I think, is going to just clear out Overworld.
That's not a bad idea, because if you want to go to a dungeon,
At this
you
point,
might
if
want
you
to
get
pull the
sword,
items before doing so.
if you get sword, you can instantly go to
Wild Crypt.
Crypt.
And a trap on the books!
That actually could have been avoided because the books actually keep their color. So if the book
We
and
already
it's a
have the red
trap
one.
is red, and you already had it, you know that's a trap.
Yeah, but did he already have the red one?
Yeah, he did.
I mean, it's hard to keep track of that, because you only have a tracker for the number of books, not the
Yeah.
colors, so it
But
might be hard to
book-wise,
remember.
I remember that book-wise, they've got blue and red.
So now Happy prefers to clear Moncreno instead of going to Fortress of Winds or Royal Crypt. Not Royal Crypt, the graveyard. Because
It's
Wait,
a
no,
good
you
idea
definitely
because
need
there's quite a lot of
need
checks
a-
that have opened thanks to the red sword. The only thing that scares me is that if Ruin has something and the Francois gets a cane here, it's going to put Ruin off even more.
if he gets a
Because-
cane here, he might be tempted to pull Cave of Flames.
Yeah,
Because Cave of Flame is way faster to clear than Fortress of Wind. It's faster, it's simpler. And since you have the cape, you can cheese a big chunk of the
everything
dungeon.
is just
And Clear Rock on
when
the
you've
wall
got
is a
cape,
really
you can
free
do
boss.
you can do it in like 6 to 8 minutes, and it's pretty fast.
And honestly, I think Clear Rock is the easiest boss in this game.
In my opinion, I'd say the easiest boss is Green Shoe. Because there's still like quite an annoying part to Gleevok. Because you can just like fall in lava, get set on fire and stuff. That Green Shoe doesn't exactly have all those inconveniences.
And Hendrus also gets the trap on the light rows. And now Hendrus is thinking.
Hendrus is gonna go. Well, he's first off. He's finishing off.
Yeah, he's clearing the checks because if he wanted to go to Fortress of Winds, he would have played the Ocarina. And the Juggernaut, which
Yes,
is
so
useless.
Droplets was the correct play. That means that Droplets was the only dungeon accessible earlier, and that you needed to go there to get access to Deepwood.
Yes. Exactly. The nut was way, way behind the flippers in logic. So the Juggernaut is useless in this seed. So 2 trips, droplets was required. I don't like droplets anyway.
It's really close to being that, Nesman, honestly. At this point, it's highly likely that it's going to be a Fortress of Go mode.
And RP is going to do the last check in Mount Cranel.
Or he is going to take the classic way to get to the Cave of Flames.
You think he's going to Cave of Flames without? No,
No,
he's not. He could have gone to Cave of Flames without the
So
cane.
they're going to be in Ruin at the same time, except Francois has way more checks and way more stuff than Hendrus.
Yes. So as we expected, Andrews is going for the Fortress of Ganode and gets the light rose on the way.
Francois checking Rem, which was useless, so nothing too bad for Hendrus to have skipped the Cloudtops for now.
Yeah,
Francois is going to do Fountain.
So Francois has checked more, but item-wise he only has Graveyard Key and 1 Kinstone over him. Well, the 1 Kinstone he has more was found at Cloud Tops, so it's not really a lead, because Andrews is going to go there anyway at some point. However, getting the Graveyard Key where it did is actually going to give him some lead, because Andrews might want to get the key elsewhere to go to the Royal Crypt before going to Cloud Tops.
Yeah.
It's actually a Call of Middle.
Hendrus already checked out and it had nothing. So.
I mean, Call of Middle unlocks 3 chests.
Yeah.
I mean, the heart piece, we saw the heart piece.
Hard piece, trap, and bottle, if I recall.
Yes. We know the heart piece is not required, but it unlocks 3 chests. Unless the middle is a trap, of course. Where was the key again? If I remember correctly, it was on Cloud Tops.
Yeah, Graveyard Key was on Cloud Tops.
So getting a Cloud Tops Kinstone in Cloud Tops is not an advantage, but getting another item there, and it's a good call from Andrus, because the last Cloud Top Kinstone is in the ruins.
Francois will probably check fortress and ruin after town.
I think he's going to clear the town way before that. I think
Yeah,
he will be last location.
Francois is like clearing town right now, and then he'll instantly go to ruin.
I mean, unless the ruin or the fortress has another item, I'm pretty sure Francois will last location this Kinstone. Because he really does not want to go to the Fortress of Wind. He really doesn't want the Fortress of Go mode. So now we are close to the Fortress of Winds. He saw that the freestanding was not a required item, so he is using Quick Warp, which is set up to be on the fortress itself, so it can gain some time. And now this can be important for the race. If an item is there, Andrews might have some lead. Because he'll find the Graveyard Key when he will go to Cloud Top, because he has to go there anyway. And he has the last Cloud Top Kinstone, so when he goes there, he'll be able to go to the next Ocarina Warp and might
I
have
don't
to
know
go
if it would
inside.
give him the lead, honestly, because of the fact that he will probably try and clear everything in the overworld before going to Cloudtops. Oh, wait, the last book was... Wait.
No, Andrews already had this.
Oh, yeah, no, Huntress did get that book first. True.
Unfortunately, so from what we said earlier, Francois didn't have the red book when he got the red book trap.
True.
So his trap was legit. And Happy is going to save Gregor, which he didn't do earlier because he didn't have the jar when he first came here. And we know Gregor doesn't have any item, so right now he's just losing some time.
Nesman has made the worst seed in the past 5 weeks of Randomizer weeklies.
Well, a bad seed is entertaining.
It is.
So now Francois is going to the ruins.
But when I say worst seed, Nesman, don't get me wrong, I enjoy these types of seeds. I'd rather spend like 4 hours playing Randomizer because I like it so much than with a really like stressful seed like this than playing a jet seed that would just make me finish the game in an hour.
So now what will be interesting is once Harpy gets the last Cloud Top Skinstone, will he leave or will he continue?
No, he won't leave. I do not think he'll leave. Because that would not give him any... He could not advance in Fortress Palace. Because he needs a sword. And it doesn't give him access to anything else.
That's true. You need the blue sword for almost everything else in the game.
So Harpy will not leave when they get the Chinstone.
There are some towers checks, like 4 or 5 checks. Once
the likeliness of having a sword in the tower is so low. I never. But it could be possible, honestly. Seeing how this seed is going wouldn't surprise me.
5 chests, so 6 checks because Kregal has a second item.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's too likely Fortress has something.
It is really likely, but I mean, for now, it did not provide anything apart from Kinstone. So let's hope it delivers at least one thing. And I mean, at this point, they cleared ruins and wouldn't leave this place unfinished. Makes you lose way too much time, and I mean, it makes you lose time if you need to come back here. Did Andrews check what was on the right side HP?
HP?
I think so. I didn't see him check it.
Oh. I think I forgot it.
Yeah. According to Nimbus, there was a key, so if there was a key, he needs to go and get it.
Yes. But do he need... Oh yeah, he needed to go there in Minish. That's right.
Oh, it was a key, thank God he went back. Let's see, Kinstone coming up for Francois. Let's see if that choice is going to be the right one.
He's
Continuing.
going on. Yes.
Logical. Is this place takes so long to go for back and forth that that it's like most likely that they're going to finish it off.
And the snake trolling Francois because he needs to kill the enemies to make the statue disappear, but the snakes are fast and they control you by running away.
Seeing what Handress is doing, for now, Fortress is Fortress of Death and Trash because it is useless. Only ruins for now is good, but it's so likely that this place just has a sword or something that you can't just leave.
Andrew's having trouble with the cape strat on the Darknet.
I'd personally prefer if there was the sword was in the wind chime. Just make them go like far away.
The item from here has to be locked by the boss. Not necessarily. It could just be before the boss.
I don't
Boss is
think
on the way.
it's locked with the boss. They've got enough. They've gotten enough keys, I think. For now, Fortress is not paying off.
I mean, the meanest troll would be not the boss himself, but as you said earlier, the Ocarina check, like the bird dropping the item. Because
That would be hilarious.
you're not even gifted the item directly. Like the element is not dropping the items. Like it's bird coming from left of the screen and going to right of the screen. Like, hey, you need this item. Yeah, take it. Not even giving it to
Sword
you.
would be
Just to walk.
fantastic, yeah.
And Francois gaining some time because he did not forget to go into Minish to get the second key.
Yep.
So in this configuration, I'd say Francois still has the lead because he found the graveyard key earlier. So
I think Francois is going to have a significant lead if we manage to see via Hendrix that there is a sword here. If there is no sword, depending on what choice Hendrix makes, he'll have a significant lead. Because if Hendrix decides to go to Cloud Tops straight after this, and that there wasn't a sword here,
yeah,
he'll definitely have a lead if there's a sword in Windshard.
I mean, he will go to Cloud Tops anyway, but depending on when he goes there and what we find here, the leads might be in one side or the others.
Yeah. And for now, seeing what we're getting right now, we have a vanilla boss key, I think. No, wait. Yeah, maybe vanilla boss key.
Nope, the boss key was in a small chest.
Oh, yeah.
But wait, did Hendrix get it?
Yeah, he did.
He did.
Oh, wait. Did he?
Hendrix, please.
Oh, no, if he skipped a chest.
He did. Okay. Phew.
Good.
And the remote bombs. So that technically that is an item. Not the one we need, but this is an item.
It's not what we want to see, but it's still an item. Let's see.
So,
two items.
Great Mazel, do you have the item needed?
At this point, I don't remember if we saw compass and map. So at this point, Mazal might have one
I think we did. I'm pretty sure we saw the map. I'm not 100% sure for the compass, but I think we got it. Yeah, I mean, map, I'm pretty sure for the map.
If Mazal had compass and map, that would have been really funny.
And even if we didn't see the compass, Mazal has two items, one for the Piece of Hurt and one on the Ocarina, so...
Yeah, and one of them is obviously a compass.
There's one item on Mazal.
So it's one item, still one item. If it's a sword, it's gonna be big for 100. No, if it's a sword, it's big for Francois.
The price can be a dungeon item. It can be.
Yep.
It can be. I already had a cane on the bird. It can be a dungeon item.
It always can. It's an item. It's a check. It definitely can. Hoping for a sword at this point for Francois, and Hendrix is probably hoping for a Kinstone, which he will not find.
The birds can have a map or compass.
Yeah.
Because those are not required in logic. All the keys are required in logic, that's true, but not the map and compass. They can be on the
bird can have anything.
And we're close to see it because Andrews just defeated Mazel. So hold your breath. And the cane.
No.
So Fortress of Winds was required to complete, because even if Cave of Flame is not required, the cane is required for Batty.
Apparently they got compass earlier.
Yeah, I think it's a check he skipped. Like
now, overall checks or Cave of Flames. For Hendrix, I think he's going overworld.
Yeah, there are a lot of overworld.
Right now,
Cane
he's
checks.
retracing Francois's steps by doing the lake checks. I'm hoping here for something in Cave of Flames. Because Cave of Flames good.
And we now have all the bottles on the Hendrix side.
Oh my god, please, please be something on Glee Rock. If there's something on Glee Rock,
It's all dungeon.
this is going
no.
to be a logical all dungeons.
Clear
Because
Rock
Mazal
or
had a
Milari.
cane.
Milari too, because Milari check is behind Cave of Flames.
Sure, since Milari is behind Mazal, Glee Rock kill. Sure. If
So, yeah.
Milari has something. Well,
So-
Nimbus gave the most evil outcome possible, but
So Clear Rock's hurt. Fire element check. And Milari's sword, that means 3 checks. 3 chance to be an old dungeon.
a logical dungeons.
Are you sure? Okay. Well, if you say so, but I mean, you know it more than me, so I'll trust you on this one. So before leaving, Francois is going to clear the wall, Fortress of Wind. And Andrus is going to Veil Falls and Cloud Tops. So here, Francois' lead might fade away, because they're going to have the same items.
Depending on how fast Hendrix finds a sword.
And that's also something else, like Andrus will be able to complete Cloud Tops in one trip,
Which is
which
good.
means he'll get the warp before the Wind Tower.
I feel like
so-
Wind Tribe will have an item.
Yeah, Andrus will gain in insane amount of time, actually.
I still
It's
want
what-
Cave of Flames to have something that, if it's empty, it will be better for our runners. Infinite
Yeah.
empty.
Yeah, it all depends on that. Next progression on Milari would be about this. Yeah, people want the old engine. They want it so bad. Yeah, so this is where the compass was. I saw Andrus skip this check. Yeah, it was the compass. I mean, he saw the compass drop and didn't pick it. Okay, so now Fortress of Wind is completely cleared. No, Happy, you have to get out to play the card now. And now where will he go? He's going to clear the other war checks.
Yeah.
And we're going to see if Tingle had something.
Please, a sword. No.
And he didn't have anything, unfortunately. And I think Hendrix didn't even get the Tingle trophy, right?
No, he didn't. I don't remember what it was.
I mean, it wasn't it in Cloudtops?
It was in Caltops, yeah. It's
So he's going to
the...
get it. But
I
it
don't
will be
remember which
much.
chest it was.
Yeah, it was in Bayfold. Okay, so he got it recently. And Harpy is going back to the town. He really, really wants to get
Find
the
the
sword
sword.
before going back to Cloudtops.
I do understand his choices here. Because going there without a sword is not fun. Well, going there not being able to do everything possible is not fun, is what I mean.
Yes, but
Francois
if
is going
there's,
back on just as
if there's a
that.
sword in the tower, Andres is going to have a huge lead.
A massive lead. He'll be ahead by a lot, depending on what Francois decides to do. Seeing where Francois is right now, I think they will instantly go up to Cloud Tops because they're pretty close to it. But I mean, at this point, they can go anywhere.
Yeah, and we have all the bomb bags too.
Yeah, so that's good.
Biggest bomb bag.
And just about to get his final Cloud Tops Kinstone. Yep, Francois is going to Cloud Tops as well.
Yes, and here he's going to get. No, was it later? It is.
It's it's the shark chest. It's this one.
Yeah. The last one.
So Francois, if there's a sword, is going to take a slight lead, but really small. If there is a sword in tower.
And the shark are trolling Andros right now. They don't want to fall.
So at this point, I want to say it's going to be down to either here right now or Cave of Flames.
Okay, so Harpy actually gets his lead back because he decided to go to Cloudtops now, getting the last Kingston Fusion.
I say
earlier.
the even the Hendrix is probably a minute behind, not even 30 seconds maybe.
Yeah, but he's not behind for a lot. Like they are really close.
Behind.
They're almost synced, which is actually amazing. We're at 2 hours and 2 minutes of runs. 2 hours and 3 minutes.
They've done the basement for school, but they haven't done the 2 others. They haven't done garden and roof. Old Man Myth has, oh my god, the book.
The last book.
Yalari sword,
God.
please.
Oh
Yalari
god.
sword. Yalari sword. Yalari sword.
No.
Oh, the final bomb back. Now they have as much bombs as possible. Yalari sword. Yalari sword. Yalari sword.
It's actually highly probable.
Dax, we will have a Yalari sword today. Well, I hope we will. I can't guarantee it, but I hope so.
Well, no sword, so he's going to equip Warp and teleport to the town, and I think he's going to check
Yalari. No, yeah, please. Sword. Don't make them go to Cave of Flames.
Yeah, after that, I mean, if he gets a sword, he's going to Palace of Wind. And the Royal Crypt.
Royal Crypt first because it's faster, I guess.
Yeah,
And if he gets Force Sword in Crypt,
he's in
then
Go mode in
Go Mode.
Palace. Exactly.
Then yeah, Go Mode Palace is always better. Because Palace is long.
Unless you really gamble that Cave of Flames has an item. But
Or two.
well, that would be gambling too much.
2 items would be pretty funny.
Yellari, please.
Please. Please.
Nope.
No.
Nope. Nope. This is not the books.
I'm going to throw this out on the women because it's probably one of my favorite moments in a weekly. Blue Sword is going to be bottom left in the Cave of Flames basement, and Force Sword on Blade Chest, with Compass being bottom right of the basement.
So, the 2 last swords in Cave of Flames.
Yes.
Oh god.
No, Dax, you're not. No, no.
And if a single one of them is either Gleerock or Melari, it's an old dungeon.
Nimbus, you're being way too evil
Oh
right
yes,
now.
that's right. False Sword can be in Dark Arrow Castle. It can be, but then it means it's obviously the last one in logic, and there can only be one sword because there's only one check available with a 4 sword. And I think Francois is going to check the courtyard.
Yes.
So we can't even see if it's locked behind 4 swords. I mean, we're not missing any items, so it's no, we're not missing any items.
We're not missing items, so there won't be anything there.
I mean, that's exactly what Francois was checking. So it's a mistake from
It's
him.
weird
because
at this point there's nothing missing really.
Yes.
Why is Francois
Unless there's a
checking
trade
now? Oh, Francois is finishing off Fountain. Interesting. Wow.
So Harpy is fully clearing the town before even going elsewhere. He doesn't want to dip Cave of Flames non-element.
I do understand, but Francois does have an advantage over Hendrix, is that they have already cleared Mountain, so they can go straight to Cave of Flames.
Yes. I mean, did he? He did. No, he didn't.
He did everything apart from Milari and the chest behind. That's after.
Did he activate the warp?
No, because he couldn't. Because he did not have. He did not have Kane or Flu.
He could have gone the vanilla way.
Right now, yeah, but he didn't to save time. Right now, he is going to cave.
He went to the rain chest. He could have gone all the way and
actually activated or Camino, which would have saved.
I mean, it would have taken a long time, but he would have saved him some time here because he could have just warped with the Ocarina.
Yeah. Right now, at least he can just get there instantly with Kane. Without Kane, it's just annoying to get here.
And he's going to do the checks in
past the mine, which is not a bad idea because having Ocarina, you can just flute after getting the final chest past here. Nothing afterwards, so Cave of Flames it is.
The time has come, ladies and gentlemen. Is this an old dungeon?
Or is this a logical old dungeons?
At this point, since we're missing only the swords,
Sure, it could be logical depending on where it is. It will be counted as all dungeons if the swords are before the boss. If the swords are on the boss or beyond, that's a logical dungeons.
I mean,
I think I explained it correctly.
all dungeons means you clear the dungeons, in my opinion. So, I mean, we don't have the same definition of in logic all dungeons. In logic, all dungeons means it can be avoided if you go out of logic.
Oh.
This is really breathtaking. We are all holding our breath. I mean, at least we have the cape to do Cave of Flames. This saves a lot of time. Just imagine doing an old engine without the cape. Just imagine that. Yeah, that's the way I think about. If you say logical dungeon, it means you can avoid it by going out of logic
get
and
your
taking
reason
the
now.
item that's on the boss. But there are less chance to see an illogical dungeon on Minish Cap because it will most likely be required anyway, contrary to a kind of time where you can sequence break more locations, so the song you get on the old dungeon is not necessarily required out of logic. So we already have the boss key. So we might actually see a different route. Francois might go for the boss as soon as he gets to the lava room. Like if he triggers the red wall, he can go to the boss and clear the rest later. And the blue sword is before the boss. Okay, so now Royal Crypt is clearable, and lots of mean, both templates are
Oh
clearable,
yeah,
actually.
I second Francois's reasoning right now.
Yes, activating the blue warp in case the
Royal
fourth
Crypt,
sword is there. But now he can
Royal
clear
Crypt
both dungeons.
and Palace are full clearable. I understand
Yes.
why Francois choose to do those because there's so many checks in both that there's a high chance that four sword's going to be there.
That's true, that's a good call.
The question is Hendris going to finish Cave of Flames fully or also dip like Francois? Because if Hendris finishes Cave of Flames fully and gets four sword,
Oh god.
that's going to be a big change of lead.
Not necessarily, because Francois will clear both dungeons, which are required anyway, so he's not going to lose any time, and he can walk back to the Cave of Flames later.
Yeah,
So
but Hendris is going, if he gets four sword in Cave of
he's in go mode.
Flames, will go mode Crypt and Palace.
I mean,
The fact that Francois right now is going to full clear Palace is going to lose him a lot of time.
in absolute, he's going to have the lead, but depending on how they route the checks, and if Francois has a better execution, the lead might not be that huge, because he can walk back to Cave of Flames, and if he finishes both Palace of Wind and Royal Crypt without getting the fourth sword, I'm pretty sure his first gamble would be Cave of Flames, because the risk of old dungeon is just too risky right now. What is Japan's obsessions with Ghost that Lake has an attack? Well, yeah. And I think Francois has another problem with his stream.
His emulator might have crashed.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Please no. Please just be a stream crash. Because if the stream is just a disconnection, like once he's reconnected, he can just keep going. But if it's an emulator crash, it's pretty much over. Oh god. Please no. I see his stream is offline. So
It might just be a stream crash.
because I'm following Francois and I don't see his stream online, so I think it's not a restream problem. I think his stream is offline. That's for sure.
Oh, it's back up.
He's back.
So for now, no sword.
Yeah,
in
he's
Royal
back
Crypt.
because he's currently in Riot Crypt.
So from what we see, there's no sword in Royal Crypt. So
Okay, it was just a stream.
it seems like it's going to be down to Cave of Flames or Palace.
Because if it was an emulator crash, it would have been over. It would have been so late. Because you almost never save in this randomizer. The sound was from Francois' computer, right? It might be his OBS telling him, "Oh, you've been reconnected."
Probably.
So now, yeah, he finished Royal Crypt.
Hendris is doing the same as Francois. So Francois is keeping a lead.
So yeah, now yeah, he's keeping the lead, unless the last sword. Oh, Hundreds
Yeah,
2 chooses to not keep going in Cave of Flames. Okay. But Hendrus chooses to go to Palace of Wind before Royal Crypt, which I think is a better call. Because Royal Crypt is fast anyway, so you might prefer to go to Palace 4 in hope you have the sword there, so you can just go mode the Palace.
I'll do Crypt first because I'd rather get first sword in Crypt to go mode Palace. Yeah.
Yes, but there's only one check in Royal Crypt.
No, there's in Royal Crypt there's one check in Crypt, but you've got with the graveyard you've got like five checks.
I forgot about the graveyard. You're right. You're absolutely right.
So there's like still a good amount of checks where you can still get a sword.
Oh no, Dax, please. Because the sewer chest in the it's in logic since we have the blue sword. Oh
Yeah, it might be actually. I'd say the chest in Veilfall.
and I'm pretty sure no one will think about that before Cave of Flames. So if the last sword is there, they might clear the whole dungeon before even thinking about it. And both runners are quite synced actually. Andres isn't that far behind. And Andres tries the skip. You can skip a good part of the dungeon here, which doesn't even contain any check, by doing a precise jump with the cape here on this corner, hoping to land directly on the moving platform under the rail.
Ken just takes the lead. Takes a 10 to 15 second lead.
Yeah, because Francois didn't do the skip.
Which can be easily beat by execution.
This is so close. Yes, they both got power bracelets. So they can both do the pot puzzle check.
It's actually a good thing they got it because pot puzzle usually tends to have big key.
I've never seen it hold big key in my sets before, and usually they just have a small key. So yeah, no one, none of them is going to skip the pot check. So now none of them is doing any mistake in this puzzle.
And just being a pop puzzle ahead.
And it's
that
actually
is
the boss key. You were right.
common.
Good call.
In my opinion, it's so common. I've had 6 seeds in a row have big key there, and it's just the one check that it's really rare to have a knight in there. I've only had it where it was a key or a big key.
So that means you have to do this check to end the save. That means if you do cane skip, you're going to backtrack and lose time in Palace of Winds.
Mm-hmm.
Now the Moblin Archer chest, which had a small key, and the item below that.
Bomb.
What it?
It was bombs, so it's useless.
I wasn't sure because it's the same color as the small key.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not required. And both runners are on the same location right now.
The flail guards. Absolutely terrible enemy.
I really don't like these bosses because you
It's
just
just annoying if
you can't
it
use a
don't have-
fast spin strat.
Oh, Francois skip. No, don't. That was not a good call from both of them. Hello, Myth. It's interesting to say the least. Both choosing to do this section, which is a bad call in my opinion. They could have, since they already have big key, they could have just skipped that and actually went through with the dungeon.
I'm not sure. If you want to play it safe, you would stay in logic.
Oh yeah, no, but they're looking for four sword. That's why they're doing this. I just
Yeah,
remember that they're missing four
We don't
sword.
have boss sword yet. In Go mode, you would have just rushed through the dungeons because you already had enough keys
Yeah.
to go to the boss out of
I
logic.
just realized that they were missing four sword.
Yeah.
At this point, I really, you can see that I really wanted to be in Cave of Flames. Which is getting more and more likely.
So now they're going to do the second part of Palace of Winds, which is the most interesting one. And Francois took the lead. Actually,
Yeah. Small key. They're missing 2 or 1 to be able to.
I think they're
I mean,
all
they.
missing
I think they're
out
missing
of logic.
3 for the dungeon, 3 or 4, yeah. I keep on forgetting they're not go moding this dungeon, so they need all the keys and all the checks done.
Oh, Andrews fell.
This is so long.
Yeah. Runners were synced on this room, that's not going the same way. Because Andrews fell and had to get back.
Francois is taking back significant, a minute lead at least.
Yes. By execution only. Harpy going for the wizard fight right now.
Yeah.
No, he's not.
You need to go up to the top. You need to go on this level and then go
Oh,
to the
yeah.
left for the wizard fight.
Okay, that's not the wizard fight I had in mind.
Oh, you thought about the flame brothers.
Yeah, no, it was just a shortcut that he opened.
Hmm.
Nah, my
Flame.
bad. My bad.
There's way too many whips with wizard fight in this dungeon. Now he's heading to the one you were thinking of.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, estimate is 3 hours, and even if sword isn't here, I don't think we're going over estimate.
Oh, this is not sub 3. This is nowhere near sub 3. Except if sword is here, that can definitely be a sub 3.
I mean, finishing
But-
up is not... Finishing up Pulse of Wind and then doing the remaining Overwatch checks is not really that long. Even if it's at Cave of Flames. Oh, I forgot. Yeah, Dark Hyrule Castle takes time. Yeah, I have to stop thinking like, okay, enough time where Gen's Tower takes like 5 minutes. Yeah, Dark Hyrule Castle is not. So yeah. Yeah, you're right. I mean, unless we are extremely lucky and only 2 towers are required. But that's unlikely. And the 4 sword is in there. Oh god. Okay, so sorry, but it's not an old dungeon. I mean, you're not supposed to clear the dungeons. Well, Francois now has a significant lead. He is ahead doing the dungeon. He has 4 swords, so he's in the mode and ahead of Andres. Yes, it's go mode. So Harpy has the time to farm some herds, so he's not really in danger doing Guild. Oh yeah, that's true, Nimbus. I also forgot that. But Hendrix didn't do Royal Crypt either. And that's a nice execution from Harpy here. And now that's some bad luck. Really bad luck. You can kill it without cloning. Well, it's harder, though. So this is the last phase of the Kyogre boss. And it's over. So now Harpy is going to head to Dark Harbor Castle and clear the game. So take your bets, people in the chat. How many towers will be needed? If we're lucky, just 2 can be needed. All else, 3 towers are needed. Or we can be unlucky and the runners have to do all towers. Best possible is 1 tower. Oh, really? Well. So now, will the Quad troll us? Will he get sniped? And no, it goes smoothly. It's smooth. Now the real debate though, will it be sub 3? Because Dark Hyrule Castle can take up to 20 minutes. And we are 2 hours and 37 minutes. If we are unlucky with the towers, we could not get sub 3. Whereas Andrews is going on with the Kyogre boss. Yeah, Smith, the seed did suck. We had to go to Fortress of Winds, non-elemental, to get the cane. Inside Cap Flame, we had inside non-elemental Cap Flame, we had a sword, the blue sword, which was required to get to the 4th sword in Palace of Winds. And we got the blue sword over 2 hours in, but we also got the first sword like really late too. Harpy getting trolled with the cursed ghosts. Yeah, 4 sword was the easiest part, but it was locked behind the blue sword, so it was the last in logic. So the real trouble was finding the blue sword, which was really hard. And Andrews just tugged at the element. So now Andrews has to go all the way and do Royal Crypt, because he didn't do the Graveyard and Royal Crypt either. And contrary to the other dungeons, you can't really skip Royal Crypt checks, because there's only one additional item, so you can't really skip it. Yeah, it's true that getting the cape early on is really a good thing, because you can just cheese through the dungeons, you get faster dungeons, you get a lot of checks open right at the beginning, and normally Hell Cape is a gift. But in this case, it turned out it was actually not, because we struggled finding our first sword, which was in the Hype Cave. Actually, there were 2 swords in the Hype Cave. With a compulsory 2 trips Temple of Droplets, because Droplets had the flippers, which was required to do Depot Shrine, knowing that the Juggernaut was also behind the flippers. And knowing the red sword wasn't available at this point. Yeah, the sword and the tracker. It's just a yellow sword. Looks like a nice lolly. Nice one. Nice one. Oh, it looks like a peeled banana. The banana sword. So now Andrews finished the Royal Crypt and is now heading to Dark Harrow Castle, way behind Francois Harvey. I think Andrews is not going to get sub 3. And he got sniped by the cords. That's really bad, he's losing even more time. But Harpy is in critical HP, facing the flails, and the darknuts. It's close even for Francois, that's true. It's going to be extremely close.
It's always annoying to have 4 towers.
I mean, nowhere in this seed we did have luck. This
I
seed
don't
was a
think-
huge troll.
I don't think we can wait for. We could have like had anything different, seeing how this seed has been. It's definitely ripped for Nesman and his privilege to roll seeds.
Lesman, look at what you've done.
Pretty clean fight from Francois. Now it's time to do the 4 towers because fun.
Imagine doing this room with a kernel glitch. And you can't do a kernel glitch in Rondo, right? I mean, not only because it's not allowed, but you can't do it because the Rondo patches some bugs, right?
You can't because it's
It's fixed.
non-glitched.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you
Locking
can.
a
Yeah,
glitch
you
does
can.
make it easier.
You can disable the glitch fixing.
Yeah, in this in these settings for the weeklies, it's no glitches, which is a good thing because glitches would just make it way faster.
Glitch is the law race. You mean Ocarina glitch race? That's basically
Basically,
godlike
any
glitch.
glitch in the game.
There are all the glitches, yeah, but it's the most useful one. And yeah, most useful one with portal items.
Harpy being 2 towers down, if they do a perfect fight with that, he should be able to sub 3. It's dead for Hendros, probably. No, not probably, is most likely dead for Hendros for sub 3.
This is going to be a close call. One tower left. Being able to go out of logic is also fun. It is.
Francois having trouble with the Dark Nuts. Interesting way of doing that tile room.
Yeah, there are multiple ways. There are multiple ways to solve this puzzle, and I think we almost all do it differently.
Yeah.
And it's now the last tower. Fourth key, so it was actually a 4 towers THG.
On Safari.
Nice one. So now Harvey has 10 minutes to Batty. So he has some margin for the Batty fight to get sub 3 hours.
Has a margin, but the execution needs to be on point.
Yeah, it's going to be tight. Yeah, and I don't think he's going to die with those many hurts. Like 18 hurts.
Vati 2 could be a problem with that many hearts if Vati decides to not be. Decides to just like go all over the place and bounce around.
Besides the Dark Nuts, there aren't really a lot of risks. I mean, Vati 2 can only troll with his movements, but otherwise, I think it won't die. I don't think there's any risk of dying.
I have more trouble with Vati 2. Dark Nuts, in my opinion, are pretty decent for me.
I mean, Dark Nuts are decent difficulty-wise, but you are timed. So if you actually get trolled, you can just die because of that. But Vati 2 can only troll with his movements. Nice execution from Happy.
Good execution.
For little eyes. Really fast.
Going to be not guaranteed, but close to guarantee. There's always the death, which could come in. But
please
honestly,
no. Please no. Don't say that. And Vati 1 is over.
Yay, Vati 2, the bane of my existence when I was a kid. I cannot for the life of me get past Vati 2.
This is a troll planting
and proof of Vati 2 not being good.
Yeah, like a purple spike on one of the required clone spots.
This fight can take so long if you don't get lucky or miss a cycle.
Also, if Vati moves on the right side where all the red eyes are on the right.
Concept right now, he's staying on the right side and...
Vati, please. I'm not sure they have Don't Trust.
They... No, they don't.
Because yeah, you can use Down Trust to down all the 4 eyes at once instead of cloning.
It's really hard to achieve.
It's hard to achieve, but if you do it, it's faster.
It saves a lot of time.
Yeah, but it's heavily based on execution. You have to get a really great execution.
And it's a full cycle. Bless you. Bless you.
it's going to be a 5 cycle according to Myth. But even with that troll, we should be fine for Batty 3. We have 5 minutes left.
What was it 4? Wait, 4 or 5? He didn't spin, he spammed sword and cycle 2 and 3. Let's see if Vai is going to decide to be nice with the blue orbs. Because that could be a play in sub 3 as well, if Vai decides to just lightning strike.
Batty, don't be a Vatrol. Oh, we missed with the cane. I demand the video referee.
VAR is bad. Any person who knows about football knows that VAR not help. They'll probably call for an offside and just reset the fight.
At least he got the dark room bug fast.
Yeah.
So now he has 4 minutes to do the last phase.
Rest in peace, remote bomb strap.
So
Surely it's a sub 3.
the time is on Batty's last hit. So get ready. Time!
220, 250, 650.
And that's a nice win from François P.
GG.
GG.
Interesting seed. Really interesting.
Yes, let's say interesting. Yeah.
Interesting in the bad way.
So we got Cape first item. First sword in 40 minutes. With second sword on the same location, which was the Hype Cape. Then we had droplets which had boots and flippers. Required to access the Put Shrine because the nut was also behind flippers. Then blue sword, red sword was, I don't remember where. So droplets was double dip required, and the blue sword was a huge drop.
Hello!
Hey, hello, Happy. Well, GG, you won.
Thank you.
So, did you enjoy the seed?
I'm gonna say one thing. Never, ever again.
You know, we were all expecting an old engine, and it was close to happen because we were missing 2 swords when you entered Cave of Flames, and it could have been on either Clear Rock or Mallory, and everyone was expecting an old engine, but it was not.
It is official, Nesman is banned from rolling seeds.
I guess for now.
So, did you also enjoy the HC4 tower?
I did. Basically, the seed is has been a best of all I don't want to have in a seed.
Yeah, double droplets, troll swords.
Full clear palace.
vanilla Kingstones, like 2 Castle Wild Kingstones were in Castle Wild and 1 Cloudtop Kingstone
Yeah.
was in Cloudtops. That was really trolly.
Way
Because
too
when
strong.
you went to Castle Wild, you already went to Cloudtops before. So you had the Cloudtops Kingstone tops and the Graveyard Key. But Andrews chose to do Castle Wild before Cloudtops. So when he got to Cloudtops, he could actually clear it.
Yeah.
So, well, I mean, during the war race, we had trouble estimating who was in the lead. The lead was reversed 2 or 3 times,
I was going
and the
back
real
and
lead
forth.
was when you completed Pulse of Winds faster, and we saw 4th sword in Pulse of Winds, because at the
Which-
time you already had completed Royal Crypt and not Endless.
And
Yeah.
just had the also a better execution, so it just helped a lot.
I did have some bad exe some at times. And I got trolled by my controller at the beginning of the race. So
Yeah, we
that
saw
didn't
that.
help either.
Yeah, because the way your emulator posed, I mean, he's touching something in the settings, so it's either the emulator changing the resolution or it's his controller. Because I think you received the port for your R button recently,
Yeah, I did.
so it was because you changed the button.
I guess it's because I did some testing with other controllers, and some button assignments have been overwritten.
Oh, and you didn't
Oh.
remap buttons before the race.
Which was weird because there was no way I could see it before the race, because as you could say, I could press B and still use the item on B. It's getting an item assigned to B that didn't work.
Well,
That's why I kept checking if my Ghost Jar on B still worked, and kept pausing to see if I could assign an item, which I couldn't. So now
Wow.
it does work properly.
at least you didn't get an emulator crash.
Yeah.
Yeah, the moment when your stream went disconnected, we actually thought it was your emulator.
I haven't. Didn't even notice this connection.
I mean, it might have been just for a short amount of time because refreshing your stream worked on our hand, but it did freeze on the
Okay.
stream, and in my follow list, your stream was offline for a few seconds
Okay, I see.
because an emulator crash would have just been RIP.
Yeah.
So Hendros fighting Batty 2. Will he get trolled just like you did?
I mean,
5
he did get one
cycles.
of the worst. He did get one of the worst positioning for the ice. The back 4 is just terrible.
I mean, that is Red Eyes being on the side where he goes is really a huge troll. Unless you have Don't Trust, but you
Just is
didn't.
probably going to get a 3 cycle. I think.
I mean, Don't Trust was the only scroll you were missing, right?
I
No,
had
he-
all 11. I had all 11.
No, you
Actually,
missed one.
actually, the down thrust strat is something I need to learn someday.
I mean, you're missing one scroll.
No,
I do have all 11.
the grey one is great.
The gray one is normal.
Why is it transparent? Really, game? Such a troll until the end.
I
Okay,
was
so Batty
starting
2
to
has
get.
passed.
I was starting to get pretty worried because if my memory serves well, I only had 14 checks remaining. So I was really thinking about going back to Cave of Flames and get Mazal done if I didn't have the full sword and palace.
That would have been the logical call, because you had enabled the blue warp, and there were enough checks behind that.
100%
that
seed
was
for the
rotation
win.
of checks remaining, with both Cave of Flames and Milari.
Because honestly, who doesn't want a seed?
Oh yeah, also something we found weird. Once you had access to the school courtyard, you went and checked the courtyard to see if an item was behind the force sword. But
Yeah,
the force sword was the Gomode.
It was muscle memory.
Yeah.
Yeah, I realized a fraction of a second just after that I didn't have to check it.
Yeah, when you saw it, you were like, wait, I don't even need it.
Yeah, totally.
And the swag bomb on Vati 3. So one last hit, and we're done. In time.
GG.
GG to Andrews, finishing second.
Hey, glitch. Visual glitches for the win.
So maybe we will have Andrews in interview. Got time. Yeah, both runners did well considering the seed, how the seed was trolly. At least we got a sub 3 hours, which is nice and was not that easy. Still got underestimate, which is nice.
Still good to have underestimates.
So is Andrews joining us or not? Or maybe he doesn't have the server? Estimates mean nothing when Dak Smith and Ness make seeds. Well, just wait until there's a randomizer for Minish Cap.
To be honest, that seed was already quite a bit planned on material.
Yeah.
The only thing which would be missing, apart from all dungeons, would be an item on Yelari.
Yes, well, we are actually
Oh,
all
God.
expecting a sword on Yelari when you checked it, and we were surprised it wasn't, because it was the most logical thing at the time. We had all the books. We even have book traps. And
So
nope.
Andrus isn't going to join.
So hey, GG Andrews, do you want to join us for a short interview or not?
He doesn't have a mic set up, so I don't think he will join.
Oh, I didn't see that. Well, oh, that's unfortunate.